What up, Schmoedown rockers? Yeah. Fuck it, I'm still gonna hold out on it. Ben ain't out the woods. Depends on how things with Ethan goes, though. That's a little up in the air. But if he can beat Ethan, that'll be a real even bigger to Roka. Even if he doesn't get a chance to beat Dan. But if he can beat Roka. But since he can beat Roka, if Ben can beat Erwin, then there's a chance he could probably beat Dan. Though either way the dungeon wins, I feel I'd win a lot more if Ben actually could pull off the win against Dan. Though, from the way it looks, it could not happen because Dan is known to retain a belt for at least once within every title reign he's had. So, which is something I can expect and is going to be expected. But might be one of the few times I wouldn't mind if Ben does make it. It might be one of the few times. Unless Erwin, but if Erwin beats Ben, then there's a chance that this might be the one time Erwin might have actually pulled the win and be the first to do it. Or it's going to be once again it'll probably be a solid match regardless, but I don't expect it to be that match, you know what I mean? Yeah, my point being is fucking Chandru got the win. All because, mainly, probably from what everyone is saying, it's more the fact that I feel bad, more so, even nobody that I wanted to won this time, so it's even more so Parker, obviously. But yeah, I do believe Parker will find a way, as long as we don't wind up somehow with Ellison him 3 sooner, or depending on if he winds up blowing up against Saul, or who else is considered at this point a possible threat in IG? I think Parker's going to put up more of a fight. I don't expect him to pull the win against Parker. Parker's on a tear at this point. And I don't want him to get the belt against Kanowski personally. But it is what it is if he does. But Parker will find a way again. He did redeem himself even more so by pretty much proving that Brandon did beat him. He had to beat his ass. Two, chances proven he's still that tough of a IG player, but the moment he lost, I knew this was Parker's game, so Parker did what he needed to do, and he had the game he needed to have, so there's that. Also, but it just sucked what happened with this one. But he lucked out that, it made it interesting to where at least he still had a shot, but it did, to me it was more, that he could have wound up winning it and he would have gotten the bonus, chances are. But who knows if they would have gotten the bonus, because neither player did, so we didn't know what the bonus was. In round 1, and if you hadn't gone to in a situation of multiple choice. However, it is what it kind of cost him, essentially. Both of those things. Even though he says it's more the first one, because he feels like he probably would have wound up getting. But the Lord of the Rings one, he knew he would have gotten, made sure he would have gotten anyway. And it did put him back in where he needed to be, but he knew he needed to get multiple choice on the one he had, because of the way that Chance had played perfect, so. And then Gold Leader missed his one question. He got it back in his footing, and it's unfortunate that straight up perfect game all around, and it was a 5-point, and it was a 5-point match. So now Harper made it pretty clear where he needs to be, Though the question is, are we going to get the Harper that we've been having for the most part, or are we going to wind up with the Harper that slightly had made a misstep against Ace that almost cost him? Because if he has that, he may not be able to beat either Laura Kelly or DeMolanta at this point. Though it's pretty clear for Star Wars, Ace is up there. Ace are top tier players for sure. Have become Gold Leader, Harper, Ace, Burkett, Damon. Sadly, no Dungeon, though there's a possibility Molly could be. Or potentially Maros might have expressed interest. I'm not sure. Actually, or Hoy. Hoy has his potential. I don't know if he'll get there, but he has potential. But that's what's been going on with that. I was bummed with that. Throwdown with the way results happened, but we'll see. Whoever winds up, Chandru gets to face. Is probably going to clearly face Kalinowski. It's probably going to be I'm guessing, the Collision. So it's going to be interesting because it was a match we've been planning to see anyway, so it worked itself out. Who else? Parker versus either one of those players was going to make it interesting. So the way I see it, this album, why do I say album? I'm sorry. These matches are going to be insane when they come out for Collision. Also, and as far as the other matches here, Alba Saul's definitely proven himself. I mean, he's knocked out both real rejects, proving their worth at this point is more in the low to mid tier, and that they just have that kind of Makuga luck sometimes as players. Bancroft and Newms and Griffey Newms. Newms did it, dude. But at least he had more of a challenge this time with Bancroft. I think, even though he wound up with the TKO, I guess. Or this time he actually forced. It was finally a moment where he wasn't a TKO, actually. But it did at least force Newms to ask the questions he needed to ask. Wasn't a total knockout, or technical. And then it was, unfortunately, a knockout situation with Harris and Ellison. I kind of figured Ellison might have pulled it this time. He's just been on some kind of tear, and plus he needed something given his match with Parker, so. And there was no other pay-per-view. I guess they're waiting for next week to do that, I guess, or something. Who knows? But yeah. Felt, aside from the pay-per-view, after that it just felt like a sort of one of the quieter weeks. But overall it wasn't too bad. Not as much to talk about, but it was fine. Matches were fine. Though there was more to talk about, I guess, in FCL and what's going on with that. I'll briefly touch up on it in terms of somehow Flaus surprised us in his match against Warfather, and was an entertaining match nonetheless, and somehow it seems FCL's better for Brett or the Flaus. All right, there we go. And somehow he's our champion now. Just the most WWE storyline bullshit thing you could ever see that I was just kind of getting tired of, really. So, but good for them, I guess. Yeah, it might be the only time I'll ever get a belt, but I think he'll wind up being considered a paper champion, so. All I'm going to find out is if he somehow can play even better than that match and beat whoever's next for the belt. I doubt it. Well, it probably might be one of the worst championship matches ever in anything Schmoedown related history. Who the heck knows? But anyways. given also, what's his face, wound up going to the Stars, so if he won, how was he going to keep the belt? And he beat Kofi Outlaw, but it was a really tight match, too. So, honestly, I think because of that, I think they should give Outlaw another chance to go for number one contendership. Personally. And have him redeem himself. I'd love it, but I don't know who the hell they would be able to go up against him with. So, I don't talk as much about FCL. I should, but sometimes I forget to. But this was one of those chances where it needed to be talked about because of the way things were going. And plus, I did get I think I did talk about it a little bit last week. And we found out what happened with it, so that's what's going on. And it's a shame Battalia's probably not up on the list now because he's moved up. Though Battaglia versus the spoiler would be interesting. And I think Battaglia would beat his ass. Spoiler alert. Also getting the Diamond himself, Del Rio. I think I've already talked about this last week, but I don't remember if I did or not. So I'm making sure I do this week. And I'm going to hopefully enjoy seeing them when they have their matches. And make up for the lack thereof of what Flickinger and Jericho were giving us, essentially. So, but I was glad for Van Vliet. He's here to stay, which is very nice to see. So, as I've mentioned before, I guess. But here we are. We're just chugging along, seeing how things are going to go. I guess they're going to try to do Collision, get it out of the way, and then really boom up tournament season, I think. Because I think tournament season now is done. I think it's just going to be a bit on the slow side till Collision comes in, and then boom, tournament seasons. It's just we had tournament season kind of start, but it was sort of a very slow process one, and it was more mini tournaments. Even though the recent one was 5 round. That's why it was so confusing to have a 5-rounder be your opener, but it's because Challenger's a bigger name, and so are Parker, I guess. Being a former champion, of course, it made sense to put them higher up. So, but it is what it is. And plus, it was good to see Guy on the desk, So for a pay-per-view, that was cool. Him killing it again, him and Mark's chemistry, as usual, and plus, we get to see a match, I believe, was Ellison or was it the match before that? Either way, it was nice to see Ken back on the desk. That was cool. But I don't know what matches are next this week. But whatever it is, we'll talk about it then. And I don't have too many predictions, other than maybe good luck to Kevin Smith beating Marcel McKee. She'll probably find a way. If she beats Dan, that'd be fucking insane. That just makes me feel more bad for... But if she does, then it's like, God damn it, corruption. Why do you do this to us? Oh, it's because of this. It's like, yeah, but I don't want to be dead last like last season, and I don't think we will be. But I'd like us to finally come back and we had those champions, and I think we should find a way to get those belts back. I was hoping Mara's loss was unfortunate, and as long as at the very least, Dan, if Ben ain't in it, then the next matchup, then I'm hoping Dan retains. So if he doesn't beat Irwin, then I'm hoping Dan retains instead of Irwin getting it. So, but we'll see but I'm hoping for a great match and Irwin will put up a fight. But with the way things have been going, I don't know. But I'm hopeful for Ben to pull the win. If Roca was able to somehow beat Irwin and Shannon Miller as a team, and with JTE, and once again somehow lose to Ben might have a shot. But, who knows with Irwin the way he's been in singles, so we shall see. But, anyways, and he never got a chance to prove anything in the tournament like he did the last year, so. Because he was already top tier high up anyways. Hopefully he gets one more chance and gets the job done. If not, it's just going to be top 10 and what we've always been getting from this rivalry with him and Ben and Dan to be like top 10. And Patriots, essentially. Though, apparently, I don't think we'll be seeing Rushmore again. I'm hearing that we might be getting the next tournament JTE and Barbarian. Yikes. Yikes. But it'll be fun. So, see that at least. And I think Finstock Exchange would be... Some people in the Gucciverse that are more happy with the Finstock Exchange will be happier with that. I wouldn't be against it, but I'd be happier. Dungeon, it's... We need the teams, and I want to see Ben finally get a fucking teams belt. God damn it. Ah! Ah! Anyways, what did you guys think of the matches? Comment below, let me know. Yeah, as always, guys, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. If you smell what the movie trivia Schmoedown rocks. Like, Skybound Entertainment, so on and so forth. Including the dungeon page, including the dungeon. Home of the five-time singles movie trivia Schmoedown champion of the world, Dangerous Dan Merle. Now can you dig that, suckers? Us is cooking. We dig it.